Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly he's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie. He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly he's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.
Right, bonjour, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. How is everyone doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, Grant Stevenson. Nord TPM with Charlie, yeah, you love it. Telegram gang, hello mate. First time I feast my ears on this classy soundtrack? I know mate, this is premium. How many of your other streamers have their own theme tune? Mandalo, I hope all is well with you, my friend. It is all tip-top my end. I had to go out for a little walk not too long ago just to get a bit of fresh air, and I was like, I've actually been sat here all day, and I looked out the window and I was like, oh, it's actually really nice outside. I should probably like see the sun in person today. Hello, little by little. Good evening, Nord again. PR69, good evening. Enjoy Division, hello. James Frost 007, what a ladies man. And hello. F&D secured, hello. Fascinating lines, I know mate, they are the absolute joy of my life. These govern whether I make money or not. Just incredible, isn't it? You're losing, chat. You're losing, Grant Stevenson. Oh no. Hello, Thinking Chef. And GT539's right. Let's get to it, shall we? Well, I've been doing any exercise, yeah, mate. I literally have been for a walk. It's been really good. I've definitely lost weight over the past 3 weeks. Definitely not going away with a bunch of dads. Not this weekend, coming next weekend, and absolutely given up on any kind of exercise routine on the basis that that is going to be horrific. CT has been happening for the past 24 hours? Yeah, I mean, I'm here to stream to tell you that I'm extremely ill. I actually have stage 7 lasyitis. So it'd be great if I could just drop an ether address in the chat and you guys could send me, I don't know, $500,000? That seems about fair, doesn't it? Yeah, I know you've been trying to motivate me, mate. It's I am walking. I'm walking a fair bit, and I think that's reasonable. That's incurable. Ah, shit. Well, I'm fucked. I need an eye patch. I've actually got an eye patch. I've actually got an eye patch, and it was my daughter's. And there was a time about 4 years ago. Really boring story coming up. But I'm gonna say it anyway. This is my stream. What do I like? And she was maybe it was 5 years ago. She was like 2 years old, and I kept tickling her, and she kept giggling, and then I tickled her, and she like went no, and just sort of pushed me away and scratched my eye with a fingernail, and she was just this like just little little tiny baby just scratched right across my iris, and it absolutely killed. So I had to wear an eye patch for about 3 weeks, and she'd got one from like a Christmas cracker or something that I was wearing, and I called my wife and I was like, "Our daughter scarred me." She came home and I was in a fucking eye patch, feeling all sorry for myself. Refusing to go to the doctors, but it's a good job I did in the end. Anyway, you're not here to listen to Captain Charlie the Pirate. Let's talk about some shitcoins, shall we? Honestly, it's the most painful thing I've ever experienced. Your fucking eye being scratched, like, right across it. But yeah, there you go. Good morning, Telakos. Just joined at an incredible time. I'm leaking all the sauce. Brother, where can I find this chart? I'm so glad you asked. It's a paid subscription service. It costs you, for you, special deal, $500,000. Or you can just click that link that I put in the chat. Either way. So, how's everyone doing? Bullish, bearish, bored, out your fucking minds? Which is it? I'm sure you get asked this a lot. Explain how it works. Yeah. Real quick. Performance since then. So I scroll in, scroll out, time changes. So this is, since this 14:54 my time, now it's 16:36, blah, blah, blah. And it's telling you that if you didn't long Lena, you're a fucking idiot. Bored, dead, bored as fuck. That's why you're all here, obviously. You're bored, so you're tuning into my stream for some sauce. And just some immaculate vibes. Lena has been wilding. Yeah, you're trading traditional. That's really bad for crypto. Like, all I'm seeing on the timeline is people migrating over to TradFi and grifting. And there's kind of like no in between. It's like, you either go and trade TradFi, or you just drop an ETH wallet and retire. I mean, I've really played the game wrong. I thought you actually kind of had to trade and post some stuff, and at one point I did do a lot of threads and all that kind of wonderful stuff. But what time frame is this on? This is actually on the 3-minute chart. Shitcoins on under 100 million are beautiful. Funding -1 with spaghetti, you can pump 20% an hour. Yeah, it's mental. I mean, look at this. Like it is like, here's the pre-pump down here, and it's like everything else is just like absolutely sat in this range. And as soon as it breaks out, you just take a punt, and little dip to compound on. And I think my average entry is probably, I don't know, let's have a peep. It's not good, my average entry. I think it's up here somewhere. So I'm not saying, oh look, fucking bottom tick the lows. I was actually short with a very small position. Oh no, not that. That's an hourly chart. Fuck me, dumbass. I was actually short from up here somewhere, and it was only a small position, so don't give me any clout. I longed where was it? I longed this when Hasaka tweeted and basically saved me because I averaged in around here. And then Hasaka tweeted, and I used his tweet as exit liquidity. It was lovely. Is Lena the next ship? Unlikely, my friend. But yeah, this is, as soon as it starts going, you've got really clear invalidation, like, especially with, like, this, do you know what I mean? Like, Let's make that line a bit thicker so that it doesn't go back down. Yeah, it's just nice. Nice clean price action. Just strong breaks, easy levels, and high beta. It's like, where am I wrong? Okay, well, yeah, basically anywhere back in here. And it is the only fucking coin moving at that point. Yeah, there you go. 5 o'clock. That was the initial reject instantly. Breakout, actual breakout. Off we go. But yeah, if you look at Lena 4 hour, I tweeted this just before. This isn't the normal format of the streams, by the way, but we'll talk about it since it was so, like, eminent. And it is one of the only things fucking moving right at this moment in time. You know, I love the usual, like, parabolic move, and then simple lower high. It's not the cleanest of moves and charts, and the biggest thing that it's got against it, as somebody's already pointed out, is kind of this huge negative funding. So, do I feel comfortable building a short? Not really. I'll probably get my ass handed to me, especially when on a rotational basis it's one of the strongest altcoins on the market, I imagine. Like, this isn't everything, okay? But it is a good selection of altcoins. So do I feel comfortable shorting that? Not unless I get a very fucking clean signal to do so. But really, it's dangerous, boys and girls. Am I only gonna look at altcoin today? No, mate. I just thought I'd start. And what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Get that off. I'm not gonna look at altcoins. I will look at some altcoins. I just thought I'd start with Lena because it was on here, and it was a pretty. These moments are the moments that I live for. Absolute wilding. And we had the same yesterday. It was actually around about the same time, wasn't it? I'd pretend there's some source in the timing of things, but yeah, 5 o'clock. My time anyway, which is, you know, British time, which is obviously the right time. Interesting. Should I use Orion Scanner to add to the chart? Yeah, it's one of the sources. It's Twitter generally. It's Binance list. So I've got, you know, Binance perps all here. Have a peep through. And on occasion you find things that are quote unquote interesting, like why is SXP green on the day when everything else is red? Is there something that, you know, I may want to keep an eye on? Probably not. Coty? No, I think that's had its moment. Yeah, it's really just looking XLM. That's interesting. But yeah, we'll jump over to BTC. But I thought Lena was pretty interesting, and is, you know, for any intraday altcoin scalpers at the moment, it should be very high up on your list. Put it that way. So BTC, boys and girls, what are we all thinking? Straight to infinity? $100k and a year? Grab. Like it. Sideways until 2024. Whoa. Whoa. You realise it's June tomorrow, right? It's the 1st of June. That's 7 more months. Please no. Good morning, Alfante. Whose name I've likely butchered. But we deal with it. Yeah, I mean, that would be painful. That would be really painful. But it's time to touch grass and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Got a shower that's a little underwater. What do you mean a shower that's underwater? I'll tell you my thought process as I came into the week, which has changed ever so slightly. But you can kind of see it marked up on the charts, and I've been lazy and not really changed it. Holding the 50 on kind of 3-day RSI, and at the start of the week, I was looking at this, and basically a failed crossover, because I posted on Twitter that this 3-day close is kind of quite important, and how we've reacted to 3-day closes on the AO. I will just still on that, good. I'm going to just do one EMA, and this isn't a 100% win rate indicator, guys. Like, don't fucking give me grief for for this. It's literally just a very quick trend scanner type thing. But you go through it and you just look at where the AO on a 3-day basis has crossed on a trending asset, like heavily trending asset like BTC, and it's been pretty, apart from here, it's been pretty fucking clear and pretty good in terms of indicating momentum and the next large period's price action. So here's a reasonable place to be cautious, right? Doesn't mean you don't long, doesn't mean you don't take decent rotations like on an intraday basis. It just means that, for me, it's probably time to start thinking about, well, actually, what am I going to be doing for the next few months? And, if we can't show any strength down here, then, it very well may be over this run, which kind of coincides with the thought process of everyone's doing, the drop an ETH address and scam everybody, the meme coin saga of Pepe and all that kind of wonderful stuff, and all the derivatives that are coming from it. And by derivatives, I don't actually mean like perp contracts. I mean like Trump Inu, Harry Potter, Sonic 69 Obama Inu, and all that kind of bollocks, right? I mean, like, all of these things that are just getting launched on a daily basis and rugging on a daily basis, like the last grab of a desperate market. So, yeah, that's kind of my thought process. But actually, as we held and closed that, I wanted to get on board and just close some of this. An alert set for here. Thought process was show some strength, basically front run this level and get on board. That did not happen. I did not take that trade, and sadly, this whole thought process just got fucking wiped in a single candle. So that was my start of the week, and now I'm just kind of looking for a flip of this previous pivot, which is basically the support throughout here, blah blah blah, and yeah, all of this kind of stuff. It's a bit messy, but that's what I'm looking for. And now I'm in 2 positions at the moment. 3 positions. I'm on 2 swing positions. One is LDO, and one is XRP. 589. Straight to 589. So yeah. My level, unironically, is 0.6969. And that may or may not happen. I've actually tightened this up quite a lot in terms of practical stops, but that was the kind of original trade and thought process. So there's a couple of things. Yeah, I'm up on both, but I'm willing to just ride these to either break even or a small loss. Do you know what I mean? It's not a. This is not a reason to celebrate, because I'm not saying going, oh look, my trade's going incredibly well. Actually, if anything, it's probably pulling back sooner than I would like, and it's going to retest my average entry, which is never a particularly wonderful thing. And in terms of momentum and beta, XRP hasn't been as great as I would have hoped, but LDO has been pretty good on rotation, so I'm fairly confident in that play. So, yeah, I'm actually in a couple of positions at the moment, and obviously the Lena rotational play, which, as usual, I'll probably get stopped out whilst I'm actually sat on stream. I've got a few trailing stops in, and we'll see when it gets taken out. What do we need to lose in Bitcoin in order for us to go to Gulag? If it goes to 0, we'll all probably be a bit fucked, to be honest. it'll be pretty tough if it goes to 0. I mean, I don't know, because it's literally chopping, and that's a really good sort of question or point by little. I was looking at the same level, but does that hold any importance anymore after so many retests? There, 0, we're fucked, got it. Yeah. I mean, there's probably a technically correct answer, and how I like to look at things, and those two are probably quite different. Everyone's going to be broke if that happens, yeah. You need to get terminal working. Yeah, I mean, execution terminals are really good, and there's plenty of them out there now that, you know, offer nice execution. In terms of your question, little by little, like, the way I see it is this level is probably one of the cleanest to kind of assert a bias over what I see as a couple of bits of price action, right? So there's this, there's like these lows here, and there's these highs here, right? And for me, kind of the cleanest way to look at it is basically through like this level. It's not perfect, but if you've tuned into my streams before, all I try and do with like high time frame pivots and levels is just use them to kind of say I can be bullish above here, just as an objective look, right? And I should be bearish below there. And that will change my thought process around altcoins potentially, especially if there are momentum signals that are contrary to my thought process. So you've got like, you know, momentum going up, pretty reasonable, market structure still intact. Where do I want to long? Well, I don't really just want to long here because it's not going to give me any form of clean invalidation, although, you know, there's nice divergences down on the 30-minute chart, so I could be aggressive in my first entry if I really wanted to be. And systematically I've got quite a nice confluence in terms of momentum. I've actually got a reasonable invalidation in terms of this sell-off, and just stop under here, although I'd probably manage it quite aggressively, to be honest. And look to add, and then add up here, and then take the kind of long on the big pivot and size up around here, and bring the average entry up, etc, etc. But I'm not in a BTC position at the moment, and to be honest with you, I don't like having more than typically 3 positions open at any one point. God, look at all this mess, man. Look at this mess. You wouldn't think I was an artist, would you? Or a wannabe artist, anyway. If someone's been trading Bitcoin in the last few weeks, what's the right addiction emergency line to call? It's a really good one, and I'm obviously a fraud because I'm called BTC Charlie, and I've actually barely traded BTC for the last probably 2 years. It's as soon as I cottoned on to spaghetti and high beta and momentum and that kind of trading, that style, I haven't touched BTC that much. But you know, you don't know when volatility is going to come, and it could just be around the corner. I think it's fair to say that in altcoin land, you do have periods of consistent volatility, particularly like when you have, you know, the simple theory is you have a range, you have price going into said range, you have a deviation from the range, you have reacceptance into the range, you're probably going to continue to chop. But then as soon as you start breaking out of the range, based on the period of time, the longer the time, the greater the expansion, you know, this is probably the time that you start paying attention. And this is one of the reasons why in January to March, despite my wife moaning at me, I basically spent a lot of time in front of the computer. And April and May have been less so because, you know, the market's basically done that, and now it's consolidated a bit, and now it's starting to bleed out a bit, generally speaking, right? In fact, we can probably We can probably do a better job of this description and thought process on like a total chart. Maybe not. That's actually not. It's actually not as mad as I would have thought. You can tell I don't really look at this chart, but the point being that if you look at, I suppose it kind of has the same structure in terms of you got this range here, and then you've got this kind of capitulation, which ties in with all the FTX debacle, reclaim, and then it's basically been up only since there, and then start to die off. So that's April. But if you look at some of the some of the cleaner charts, so like LDO was one of them, wasn't it? It started running. And I had a monster candle to basically ignite that run. And this is a 3-day chart, obviously, but brilliant. Well done, Charlie. Had this out of death, and then actually just started ripping. And it wasn't like any of those days were particularly dull. Do you know what I mean? Like, almost every one of those days is actually tradable in terms of the range that it was operating in. So even if you're looking at, let's pick the, Christ, there's barely any like bad days. But 13, let's call it 14% down in a day. That's quite a lot of volatility, and you can kind of expect it when you get the expansion, right? So I think for me personally, there are times to go hard, and that was one of them. Especially after months and months and months of a downtrending market, to actually see a move up, and even something really fucking simple like this, actually tells you that's probably when you should start paying attention, boys and girls. Like, even if you start paying attention there, and okay, you get fucked 3 days later, or whatever this is, it'd be 2 weeks later-ish. 5 lots of 3, but yeah. Simple things like that, especially if you're of a more long-only bias. But equally, we could flip the meta soon and go, actually, any pumps are probably going to be for fading as we bleed off into oblivion. Unreal, I'm never depositing another $100 in spaghetti ever again. Love that. Asset just shared my show? Oh my lord. What a legend. Quick. Hide all the squiggles. Turn up the professional level. Shall I load up the ship chart? Hey bro, I watched your stream on YouTube with Trader XO, it was amazing. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, XO's an absolute legend. What I love is that we've got so many people who have got different trading styles on crypto Twitter. And it doesn't matter whether you're a range trader, whether you're a Renko trader, whether you're a price action trader, whether you use spaghetti, whether you use order flow, whatever it might be, right? We've got so many different people. We've got news traders, we've got just loads of different styles. And I always try and just not shit on anyone's style. Because I've seen profitable EMA traders, profitable Ichimoku traders, and I've seen unprofitable any traders, right? It doesn't matter what you do, really. It's about having a very thought out understanding of the conditions that your system and your process kind of work in. An experience of executing on it, right? Hey Jade Tradestar, how are you, man? Have you been abusing Lena again? Forcing the cartel pump? It's been an absolute joy. We were talking about it earlier, in case you missed it. But this is why I love spaghetti, man. This is why, like, I will advocate this chart until I die for high beta altcoin plays, right? And before anyone asks, I'm just going to chuck it in the chat in the chat because I know that people are going to ask. So there you go. There it is for the boys and girls and theys and thems and all of the other wonderful things in the chat. So you can have that, and there's a YouTube video if you really want a bit more info on it. But yeah, keeping an eye on multiple charts, and there's another way to do it as well in TradingView if you really like it, which is this. I try not to load it here, but you can literally pick a few coins and maybe compare it with TradFi as well, and just start seeing what is going on in the entire market at a glance. I think you need a version of TradingView, like a premium version or like a paid for one, but it's well worth it, I think, if you are a lower time frame intraday rotator like myself. Streets are saying Key is the next cartel coin. Oh my lord. Key, I remember trading Key like way back when. Was it Key? Maybe I'm making that up. Key next cartel coin. What the fuck is that? I didn't make that up, did I? Yeah, that's classic. Okay. I mean, looks wonderful. It does actually look like Tomo, doesn't it? Pre-pop. just up only. Alright, it's a 15-minute chart, but still. Yeah, Christ. Just watch me scroll down. Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah, nothing too untoward. So what I'm looking for here, guys, is actually, is it being traded? So you can look at the ticks. So essentially number of trades on a 5-minute basis, and you can see, are people trading it? So typically this gives you an indication of, you know, combined with like volume and open interest change, you can work out, are people actually trading it? And is there liquidity aside from just like looking at the depth of the books and all that kind of wonderful stuff? So if you're trading something that's down here, you're probably not going to have much fun unless like a news announcement comes out or something of that ilk, and you'll just be trading beta. You'll just be trading like this. You'll just be trading Bitcoin. They will just mirror whatever Bitcoin is doing. So yeah, looks good. Long to infinity. What is the next SHIB? Do you want my SHIB rant? Do you want my SHIB rant? Because I can do the SHIB rant if you want. The problem with that people don't seem to kind of get with things like SHIB is that, you know, how did you know, man? I didn't. Nobody knew. Otherwise, I would have held it until $1 billion, right? Not that I would have exited and got $1 billion, because it was, you know, the market could not have supported that much liquidity, even at the peak, you know, bull momentum. But there's a few things about it that become really difficult. One is you don't know, right? Fundamentally, you do not know. You have to make an educated guess. That is everything in this space, and that is probably the thing that all the social media influencers just do a terrible job of convincing you, that you will not know, and you will have days when your bags go down X amount. So even if you look at Pepe, right? Let's look at Pepe, because Pepe was a recent drama, wasn't it? And I've still got it on my watch list, by the way, purely because I think, oh, look at that bull signal. It's a buy, boys. Let's hide that quick. Let's fucking get rid of all this mess. But yeah, look at Pepe, right? Even if you're here, right? And let's say you've just taken a 40% drawdown. Let's say you bought way back when and you're up X amount, and this is now $1 million, and you're like, I'm the king. I'm the fucking king. But this is going to 10 million, because 10 million means I can retire. You wake up the next day and you go, oh fuck, I had $1 million, and now I've got 600k. I've just lost $400,000 overnight. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Well, 600,000 is better than nothing, and I only put 10,000 in it or whatever it might be. I'll just take that and then whoosh, there's your 10 million. But you just took it in the ass for 400k. Like, people really underestimate like the psychological pressure of holding positions that are at multiples, even if you pay yourself slightly on the way up. The only reason that I managed to hold things like Rune for as long as I did is because I had a plan. I literally said, at this level I'm taking X, and those levels went up to $100 on Rune. That was the peak, and Rune only ever got to 20. So I bag held part of that all the way down. So I got this, and I bag held an amount basically down. But I was up over 1,000x from my first buys, and up 300x, I think, on average from my other buys. So don't feel too sorry for me. But the point is that even if you somehow find ship, particularly in these conditions where every motherfucker is launching a coin every single day, right? Charlie coin's coming out tomorrow, by the way. I'll drop the ETH address for the pre-sale. That's a joke before you Zach XBT me, right? Like, you can't know that it's going to be the next big thing. You can definitely have an educated guess, but the only way that you're going to get like millions and millions of percent return is going into low cap meme coins and, you know, proper low cap trash, I'll say. And yeah, all of that is kind of a gamble. Oh, let's catch up with chat. There's quite a few people here, so thank you all for coming. If you tuned in from Esed's tweet, if you like my blurbing, then hit follow, and you'll hear the wonderful voice of Michael Saylor. There's the golden ticket. Oh, I should make that like a. I was gonna make that a shitcoin. I'm not gonna make that a shitcoin, guys. Oh, someone's gonna do it, aren't they? And they're gonna be like. They're going to clip me from my stream and say, look, Charlie said he was going to do it. Oh, well. There you go. So I hopefully got you got my chart and you got the Orion coin scanner there. Yeah, hashtag golden ticket. Let me just catch up with some of these messages. Good lord, it's carnage in here. Thank you. Old video, yep, cheers there. So there's a wonderful video about me talking about high beta and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Isn't key AI and HK narrative? Yes, I think it is. Looking to long inge. What do you think? I haven't got it on my list. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to focus on a couple of. I have got it on my list. I've tried to focus on a couple of coins this week. I've tried to keep my setups a little bit more constrained. So one of the things that I find is that we flit between narratives quite quickly at the moment. CT has the collective attention span of an act, and intraday rotations are pretty weak, apart from stuff like Lena, and last week it was Tomo. So you've got a couple of coins to trade rather. But not too many. So I've tried to narrow just my focus down a little bit. I've already talked about XRP and how I am long on spot for XRP, and we will see if we can ride it to the magical level of 0.6969. No joke. Part of this is it's been reasonably high beta. I think it's actually going to break out of these highs imminently. I think there's a few catalysts that could roll in favour of it, and if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to go too much into the XRP shenanigans, but you've got a nice invalidation. This was the original kind of trade. I'm probably going to move that up a reasonable amount so that I actually just don't take much of a hit if it goes against me and Bitcoin shits the bed and blah blah blah. And the other one is LDO, which hasn't gone, isn't going as well, but on a low time frame basis is pretty good on rotations. You can see it here in this rotation. It's doing okay, and I honestly think that yeah, very clean level that we've reclaimed, pushed above. on high beta, it's enough for me to sort of take a position. And whether we go to these highs or not, that was kind of me memeing. There's a pretty reasonable sort of range play here. This is range high, range low, etc. We have essentially reclaimed this range here. You can look at that, and invalidation below, and target 1 here, target 2 there. Really simple stuff. But you combine that with the fact that it's reasonably high beta, and I think there's a decent thesis in that. Charlie, I respect you very much. You're one of my favourite profiles on CT. So I will respect you more if you show your top on Shiba if you hadn't sold it before. Yeah, it's... why do you want me to do that, man? Why do you want me to do that? Oh, it's literally like $1 billion, mate. Like, paper-handed, like, not even generational wealth. It's like Bill Gates wealth. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. So, how do you evaluate a low cap coin? And do I have any picks for the next cycle? Personally, I think there are a couple of bags that I've got and that I'm going to hold and that I've just come to terms with in terms of, in terms of like longer term bags, like the risk reward is there. Like if they're like less than 10 million market cap, then I'm not that fussed about that volatility. And the rationale behind it is that, let's say that we actually just, I don't think this is going to happen, but let's say we just meander around here for a while, we found value somewhere between 25 and 28, and the market just chills, right? You're probably not going to get much better than 10 million market cap for decent projects. If it goes down to 5, okay, I'm 50% down, but I'm not fully averaged in. I like having a couple of spot bags purely to manage a psychological want to take extra positions, because I'm now hedged, so I've got quite a lot in cash at the moment. So if the market dies and goes down, I'm absolutely fine. I've got cash, and cash is a position. I don't necessarily need to be shorting and making money out of the market by shorting. But if the market does something really unexpected and suddenly the money printer gets turned on and all that kind of bullshit, which I'm not saying is going to happen at all, I'm just playing through the scenarios of up, slightly up, ranging, down, market crash. How am I faring in all of those scenarios? And my little low cap bags are ones that kind of not keep me protected, but give me some potential upside in this scenario, cash in that scenario, trading in this scenario, and obviously this one massively. I can trade this, but I'm not particularly wonderful at it, and this I'm not particularly wonderful at either. So I know that I'm much better here, and I'm probably not going to be massively extracting value from the market if we do something like that and actually just slowly die off. So yeah, that's how I like to think of it, kind of the 5 directions of the market, and just plan for it. So, but I'm not really in the mood to talk about low caps because Twitter's ruined it. I'm not going to lie. I started the account talking only about low caps, and I reviewed Trade Ogre, and I shared up reviews for loads of different coins, and did loads of different analysis from gimpy spreadsheets on discounted cash flow to various other bits and pieces. But yeah, you get crucified if you talk about low caps now. That's it. Do you think reading a book about trading would actually help me? Or is it best just to practice? I mean, I think there are some real good books out there, and I think there are some that help me. Market Wizards, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. What's the one that? There's 2 by Mike Bellefoy, who runs SMB Capital. One Good Trade. One Good Trade is really good. That changed my mindset a lot about trading. And I'll say a little bit something about that one because it is literally thinking of things as one good trade. And the big shift in mentality for me was that a good trade? So let's say XRP just fucking does this. XRP just goes like, vroom. And I look back at it and I go, oh, you're a fucking idiot. You know, everything was there. You know, this is the lower high. You can see that there's, you know, let's find some bearish arguments. Nah, you literally can't. XRP is too good. You know, whatever it might be, that you shouldn't have taken this trade. You've lost this amount of money. Yada yada yada. You're an idiot. No, actually, would you take this setup again and again and again and again and again? And was it a good trade? If so, yeah, great. Move on. Nothing more complicated than that. And start building your framework around that. I think that in and of itself helped a lot mentally, but it's not for everyone, right? And putting the time in, reading the books, I don't think is a substitute for screen time, to be honest with you. I think there are bits and pieces that you get from other people, but it's like anything, right? So some people have a massive, you can't do paid education and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, I'll just be honest, it helped me. It helped me accelerate my trading journey, and like I said, not for everyone. Some people will just want to sit at a screen and learn by themselves. Some people actually learn much better as part of a community. Some people learn much better backtesting, shed loads of data, making sure they've calculated absolutely everything, hundreds of models and spreadsheets and quantity stuff to get answers. And it's just do you, right? A lot of that's going to depend on your personality, the amount of time you've got to contribute to trading and to evaluating markets, doing research, all that kind of wonderful stuff. So, yeah, long answer. Do you think Bitcoin new all-time high in a couple of years? It's really difficult to answer questions like that because, you know, it kind of depends on a lot of things. I don't like having biases like that. I just want to, I want to say, you know, the market in my head works just like this, right? It is bull market, a bear, or yeah, bull market, bear market, and then there's probably a period in here of boredom, and then there's, you know, peak bull euphoria, and then there's the same thing, and now that, you know, the time between this is probably very different. So your bull markets are probably more like that, and your bear markets are then more like this, and so on and so forth, right? So from a time perspective, that's what it is. But I don't really care about that. What I care about is, here is the price of Bitcoin, and it is down here, and here is kind of where I think Bitcoin's value actually is. And if I can just buy somewhere and accumulate somewhere, like, I do not think the lows for BTC are in. I'll say that. You know, my bias is more down eventually. But I could be wrong, and that's why I've got some low caps, hedge myself against it. I play mostly intraday altcoin long rotations or high beta longs, so, you know. CFX looks good. I thought China narrative was dead. I thought that was it, it's over. CFX. Whoa, look at that. What do you mean it looks good? What looks good about that? You won't crucify me. Hello Tom, how's it going, mate? Really enjoyed Alpha Trader by Brent Donnelly. I've not heard of that one, but I will check it out. Not many people take the time to. Oh, well, mate, I genuinely mean it when, like, I don't do as much threading and all that kind of stuff anymore, but I do answer my DMs if you're not a scammer and you don't ask for money. As much as I showed 98 DMs unread the other day, that's all the fucking garbage that I get. If you've ever replied to one of my tweets, you will see the amount of bots that I get spamming me on the daily. It is beyond. And apologies, I keep fidgeting. All my thoughts on Bitcoin as of now, I kind of went over it on the stream. I actually think I want to get long, and I want to be a bit aggressive, or I would want to get long, but because I'm in 3 positions at the moment, I'm kind of maxed out. So if Bitcoin does what I want it to do, which is essentially reclaim this pivot, play this momentum through, and have a little pop and reclaim this pivot. And that's kind of good sign for me. And entry 1, entry 2, and then just kind of probably have a bit of consolidation, and then start moving again, or just keep consolidating forever, because that's what it seems to fucking do at the moment. Now, in either of those two scenarios, you're probably going to get decent alt rotations, in which case Lena will either continue going, or XRP and LDO, the two trades that I'm in at the moment, will kind of pay off. So if I long Bitcoin and I'm long XRP and I'm long LDO, if Bitcoin sells off, it's just going to fuck everything else, right? And all you are actually doing by exposing yourself to like multiple positions, and that are all on the same, are all on the same side. So I'm long LDO, I'm long XRP, and I'm long Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does this, everything's going to get fucked. So there's just no point. People say like, oh, I'm trading 5 different alts or 10 different alts. And I'm like, well, you're kind of not, because as soon as Bitcoin does something, you are just trading essentially beta of BTC. So you are just picking 10 of these and hoping that your basket is going to outperform just one of them. Really. I'm not sure if I explained that as well as I could have, but hopefully, it makes the point of, if you're drawing, a few different charts and you're like, right, well, actually, Link's just reclaimed this level, our long Link, and another chart has just done this, I'll long that, and another chart's just done this. Well, as soon as one move happens in the market on BTC against you, basically you're going to get stopped on every single one of those trades. So, yeah, kind of know what you're trading, and it's typically Bitcoin beta. So yes, I'm kind of at my positional limit at the moment. But yeah, I'm not going to be overly bullish. I'm not going to be overly bearish either. I'm actually quite agnostic, and I explain my logic based on the 3-day awesome oscillator piece, which is this is a free indicator, and it's free because it's obviously doesn't give you a 100% win rate, but yeah, momentum slowing down and potentially crossing to the bearish side here. So if you look at the distance between these two EMAs, if you've ever watched like Exo's stream, he uses EMAs quite a lot. The gap between those two is very, very small, and it's kind of close to a slow EMA flipping the fast EMA flipping the slow EMA. So I hope I've made my point, and I hope that's reasonably clear on Bitcoin, but I am long alts, and I'm predominantly a long altcoin trader. So I'm a high beta, high momentum. If it moves fast, I want in. XRP is the market health indicator at the moment. Sad times. Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. Big Garlinghouse holding up the market. If you long TFX, you go to jail like the CFO. I thought it was Trust Wallet, wasn't it? But don't mock trades with the CEOs in jail. Like we had, is it Syrian Labs? Syrian Labs was I'm pretty sure it was about a 700k market cap with insane negative funding, and someone cornered off like 40% of the supply while the CEO was in jail, and then just pumped the shit out of it. What do I look for exactly in comparison of the 8 diagrams? Only divergence? When you say the 8 diagrams, do you mean all those charts that I was fictitiously drawing? I mean, most of the time I'm looking at levels for invalidation and market structure for kind of just general thesis, but market structure changes on time frame, so it's not super helpful, whereas levels are very, very clean, and combine that with this, the RVP, it kind of gives you a where is volume being traded, and where is price likely to kind of get stuck. I'm just using simple words to try and explain it. And then I like high beta for entries. So stuff like this, where you've got a clear outlier from the rest of the market. And I don't like pre-positioning. So I don't like, so Link being a great example. And I saw, what's his name, Principal talk about this earlier, which is a lot of people, I think, struggle with picking the wrong assets. They pick the wrong things to trade, and they would be far, far better trying only to trade high beta altcoins. So look at this utter piece of shit. You could have bought this back in May 2022 and it's done absolutely nothing. So, this is the kind of classic example of why do you want to buy this? I want to buy this when it does this. Then it fucking breaks out of this, right? You show me Link at $10 and I'm a buyer. You show me Link at $6 and I'm not a buyer, right? And that sounds really dumb. And maybe it is. Maybe, your trading style is lock up capital for a long period and you're happy to just wait for, a move that looks like this, right? Maybe that's what you want to do, and that's fine. You don't need to trade any other way. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable. But this absolute nothingness, that is not for me. Even if you start looking at something like, a kind of level across here, and you go, well, actually, we'll take this as the first kind of attempt, and we close above. What's this? 790. Close above that, and actually that's when I'm going to start taking a long position, right? I would much rather be buying strength than ranging. So that's probably, an insight to my trading style and why I think this way of viewing the market, Tomo, there you go. If you were actually paying attention, which obviously I wasn't, you would see that Tomo is starting to outperform the rest of the market. I tend to go on really low time frame, and when my PC isn't being horrific because I'm streaming. But yeah, you can start seeing it just absolutely outperform. And this is Pepe, which is just a liquid dog shit. To be honest, I'm going to take that off, just for the purposes of making this chart look reasonable. But I still think Pepe is worth having on your radar, potentially on a chart like this, and just one of these filled out, because if it starts moving again, it's actually really easy to scalp on an intraday basis. And hello, everybody. So hello, Afrigard. Hello, Filthy Dog. I mean the 8 windows in TradingView. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm not necessarily looking for divergences. I'm looking for the relationships, and I'm looking for a kind of confirmation of what is going on in the market, right? So, just visibly look. So everybody just visibly look and tell me which one of these charts looks the worst. And tell me why. Tell me why you think it looks the worst. Sorry, just joined? Mate, don't be sorry. Hello JMC 2K12. Hello 0x Musician. You still in the trade, my bro? I honestly don't know the answer to that, my friend. I tried to close my trading because one, I don't want to be distracted in the stream, and two, I don't want to micromanage and get distracted whilst I'm doing this. OP low vol, OP to 0, OP by far, OP looks like cheeks. Disappoint, looks like cheeks. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm guessing that's a bad thing. Probably OP. Top row and OP look like garbage. So yeah, so top row is generally, so there's two ways I look at this, right? Top row is TradFi and ETH and BTC, right? So this is what is the market doing, and is there actually a correlation between BTC and TradFi at the moment? Doesn't really give you too much information, but what it does tell you is a very simple question of, or a very simple answer of, if your shitcoin is dumping or pumping, is it because something else is happening in the market, right? So is what you're trading just a result of this, or is it actually just something unique? And what you're kind of saying is that if you've got all these lined up, which I don't think mine are lined up perfectly, right? Because yeah, you see that. You see where the dotted lines are going across them all? They're all in like different parts of the chart. So if I line that up a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. Not perfect, but we'll take it. So INJ, very strong directionally, very strong on LDO, a bit choppy on ARB, and basically dog shit liquidity on OP. So everyone in chat is basically right, but this, particularly after really strong sell-offs on BTC, and shout out to Cray, who was in the group earlier, when he basically said, time to long high beta shitcoins, first thing this morning. And yeah, it was off this sell-off down here. Oh no, it wasn't, it was off this one. And got a nice little rotation out of that, and there was a couple of percent on OP, so I won't go back on this chart because it takes fucking forever, but it's kind of that strong sell-off, and as soon as you start picking up momentum, you can see what is moving and what is moving well through a combination of this and through a combination of this. And those are some of the best, not easiest, because there is no such thing as easy trading, I don't think. But they are some of the quickest to play out trades that I take, and yeah, I don't think they're the easiest, but I think they are the easiest to conceptualize. They are difficult to manage if you don't have the experience to just say, I am wrong, this trade isn't working out, I need to get out. Oh, it looks like cheeks as in ass. Yeah, but that's a good thing, isn't it? Hello, Max BTC? What? What do you mean? Up for squeeze, I better not touch. Yeah, well, I hope that's kind of a bit of an insight, and a bit of an insight into my thought process. Do you know what? I've been looking at ARPA all day, because it keeps rearing its little head in terms of beta, and this morning it had the best rotation. I longed OP, and I didn't actually do very well on it. So I longed OP because I was like, surely this is just the scam pump into a dump, and it was. So I longed OP down here somewhere and closed it up here. So I literally got 1 or something % out of it. It was fuck all, and yeah, ARPA was pretty good. Haven't looked. Not on TradingView anyway. Looked at it. Yeah, I mean. Nah. Whoa, Magus Trade in the chat, gifting some subs. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Cheers, Big Mag. What a legend. Magus subscribed with Prime as well. They subscribed for 4 months. We got some fans in the chat. Thank you so much, Mag. Now, I will upload all of my memes and hope Twitch don't ban them, as they did with the other ones. They banned my BlepAL meme. My BlepAL emote. Which I can post it, I guess. It's this. So every time like you take a loss. Every time you take a loss in or you say something stupid in Discord, you get one of these, and it always makes me laugh. But yeah, you can all enjoy the sub emotes. It always just makes me smile. Yes, thank you, Big Mac. I didn't realise you were here. I'll have to get you on one of these streams. Maybe me, you, and like a special guest or something. Mag is simping for Charlie. No, it's the other way around. See, I do stuff that's really simple. I long high beta shitcoins. Magus talks about order flow, VWAPs, and all sorts of wonderfully complex stuff that actually give you a really, really tight trade thesis, and does stuff with tick charts and various other forms of sexy trading. So no, if anything, it's the other way around. I just long high beta altcoins. Magus, your favourite streamer in here? What? Hang on, mate. Rude. But yeah, Mag's really good. And if you haven't checked him out, you should do. Both on Twitch for his live streams and YouTube. He does a weekly outlook on YouTube where he just goes over his plans for the week. Really simple, really easy to follow. Good thought processes and logic. And to be honest with you, he leaks far too much stuff in those outlooks because I've listened to some. Yeah, no offense, mate. Yeah, Blep Massive Blep absolutely taking the D on that one. But thank you, Magus, for those. It's much appreciated. Are we going to zero? No pullbacks. Yeah, if I had the soundboard, I would have Dan Panner say fucking 0. But no, I mean, I don't want to short it here because you're probably going to just get your ass ripped by someone drawing a simple diagonal. And look at these wicks. It's just absolutely brutal. Like, shorting something that's just doing that is, to me, really minus EV. If you get a nice pump and you've got an invalidation to then take a fade, great. But yeah, just shorting a pure downtrending asset like this that has the propensity to pull off bullshit like this just doesn't seem worth it to me. But it's up to you. It's your money. You lose it how you like, my friends. So, I've probably got another 10-15 minutes in me. Do we want to chat about BTC? I was talking about this and just the strength of these buybacks, basically, which kind of gave me some confidence, and holding above this this level here, like, you can see my thought process. Holding above here, you can actually see it from the video I recorded earlier in this week, gave me some confidence early in the week to start positioning on alts. And actually, this move combined with this move here was just like, actually, there's a bit of strength, and that combined with some strength on rotations has given me the kind of go ahead to take a couple of larger swing plays, which may not work out. Trading isn't about winning all the time, unfortunately. Despite what those YouTubers who use my indicator tell you, there is no such thing as a 100% win rate. He doesn't leak anything, he just has good conversation. Yeah, that's true. I know. I have watched a fair few of Magus' streams, to be fair. But yeah, that was, all part of the thought process that leads into, okay, this week I'll probably be reasonably active. And like last week, I wasn't particularly active. I did a couple of trades. Week before, I basically longed LDO twice, and that was kind of it. So up here, like here and here, they were like my two trades, and then I was basically away from the market for a couple of days. And then, yeah, back in it over here. Always another trade. Do you also use short from rotations from Spaghetti? That's interesting, actually, because XO asked me that earlier, and it's really, really difficult, I think, for me to give that kind of view. And the reason I say that is that my strength is not shorting. Right? I have had some incredible shorts in my time. The best short I have ever done and will ever do was Matic way back in May. And it was the 19th of May, and I remember it absolutely vividly. It's not even on here. Because I was absolutely hanging out on my backside. I probably shouldn't have been trading. But it was... But I was trading. So yeah, it was here. Basically when the entire market went to fucking zero. So I woke up early because I was basically being sick. And I basically caught this short all the way down to here. I think it was here. No, it was 1:30-ish. Yeah, it was about here. It was in that, like, that candle that I basically exited. And then I rode it up. Oh no, it wasn't. We're on a 4-hour chart. Fuck me, dumbass. It was all in the same day. So yeah, there it was. Yeah, it was literally that. It was in there, so it was, yeah, sorry, 4-hour. I rode it down from here, and I think I exited about 1:30 something. And then it rode it back up. And that was the most I've ever, that was the most money I've ever made from a short, ever. And then I played either that rotation or that rotation. I think it was in quite quick succession. But the signal for the short up here was the entire market was dying. The entire market, right? And it was all going like this, and Matic was just doing this. Now normally that is a signal to go, fuck me, balls deep long Matic, because everything's selling off, but someone or something, the market is propping this shitcoin up for some god-known reason, right? And that happened with Nia, which was, I can't remember when that was, a few months ago, maybe a year ago now. And Nia was just doing this while the whole market was dying, and I just built up a fucking massive position in it, and as soon as everything stopped shitting the bed, it just went, whoom, 10%. Here you go, free money. Whereas this was, there were coins that were down literally 20% in like 5, 10, 15 minutes. Like, it was brutal. And somehow this was holding up, so I just started building massively. And then, yeah, rode it down, and there was basically no chill. It literally just did that. But spaghetti for shorting, generally, you know, you've kind of got two choices, and I'll explain them both and why I don't like them particularly. So one is high beta, right? So you've got this extreme. Do you want to short that? And the other one is low beta. And do you want to short that? And kind of let me explain the thought process behind why spaghetti isn't particularly good for it. So with high beta alts, they kind of always have this propensity to just slow bleed off and then go like that, right? And if you look actually at Lena, so high beta alt that we're talking about, and has been kind of the focus of the stream. So if you missed some of it, like, there's probably a lot of good source in this stream around high beta altcoin trading. So look, exactly this, right? Exactly my point. Good sell-off, wonderful, but then absolutely unwinds all of that in a couple of candles. So is it good for shorting high beta alts? I think it's quite hard, personally. And then a low beta, oh shit. I was going to say, please tell me that comes back, thank god. And then for low beta, you kind of got the opposite problem. If you look at basically any one of these charts, they are going to look like dog shit anyway. So let's pick CRV. Well, CRV's low beta, boys. Let's short it at basically, you know, range lows. Not perfect. But, you know, kind of a deviation of range lows, and you're shorting this. You're shorting something that's been selling off for the last, you know, 3 days. Is that really what you want to do? So shorting, for me, I like shorting parabolic moves that have something like this. So I actually do like the 4-hour structure on Lena. The bits that I don't like are that it's still very high beta and the funding is horrific. So, you know, any short here is difficult. I think that stopped me out of my position, by the way. I think. So yeah, there's a long answer to a short question, but I think shorts kind of, I think spaghetti gives you a good invalidation for your thought process for shorts over anything. Yes, about you and Mag helped a lot. I was wondering what your thoughts are on how to trade hold Tenet. It's already broken out of its listing price. Still expecting to fool you. It's a difficult one on Tenet because, full disclosure, I am an investor. So, I am biased. I mean, from a trading perspective, it's not particularly interesting, is it? It depends on where you bought, what your time frame is, what your wider market thesis is. But I mean, I've got a bag for, I can't remember how long it's vested for. I think it's 24 months, maybe 12. I can't remember. But yeah, you know, my plan is I'm gonna hold because I have to. But I think it's a good project, and I think if you're trading short term, then you've got some very clear levels, even if it's only a few days of price action. And if you want to hold it for a while, then hold it for a while. I'm sorry, it's not particularly helpful, but you know, it's going to depend on BTC in the absolute short term. But you asked the question, so there you go. How should we count the difference in circulating market cap at 10 mil and fully diluted? That's kind of one of those things of does fully diluted make a difference? It's kind of a meme, to be honest. We live in an attention economy. Pepe went to $1 billion market cap, and it just depends on the hype around the project and the community and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Like 95% of crypto is speculation, right? ETH does basically the same thing that it did 5 years ago, but there's a lot more stuff built on it, obviously, and it is used for more things. Actually, maybe that's a bad point, but structurally, it's kind of the same thing, but speculatively, it has a lot more value now, even though not much of that is, you know, actually used for anything other than saying, I'm terminally ill, please give me money. That's its main use case. No, Weaver, that was CBS about his Matic short, because I remember it. He shorted like that, and then it went like that, and that was in 2018 or 2019 when literally in a day, or in like 10 minutes, I think it was, it just did this. It did a 50% candle, and CBS was repping FTX, and there was fucking nothing in the order books, so he couldn't exit his position. Exo's a mastermind shorter, yeah, 100%, but he uses price action, and he uses ranges, deviation, and he uses, you know, high time frame levels for his shorts trading, and like a lot of over/under triggers and stuff like that. Like when you're watching him, and that's why I think, you know, that gives you clean, like that's much cleaner than Spaghetti. Spaghetti only really takes is only really useful sort of lower time frame. To see, you know, the current rotation. It is useful on higher time frames as well, but in terms of actually executing and actually having an invalidation for your trade, which is where I disagree with people who say TA is nonsense. No, TA tells you where your idea for a trade is wrong, and that's it. Like, to me, that's more than enough. Yeah, shout out to Magus for the subs, boys. Especially if you've got one. Don't be rude. We don't tolerate rude people. It's the only thing that I agree with Hannibal Lecter on. Free range rude, he called them. Do I also use Exo Sierra for Flow? No, I don't. Flow's one of those areas where I keep looking at Magus's content, and I've watched a lot of his videos, and I understand the principles of it, but I've tried to incorporate some of it in my trading, but I end up just, how do I put it? I just get a little bit too many kind of conflicting signals with the way that my brain processes information, and I get kind of information overload. Whereas what I've got at the moment suits me and my thought process. And I think that's something that you need to kind of adapt and own and just go, well, this is what I like. This is how I like to see the market. And this is what makes sense to me, you know. The amount of times people have ribbed me for fucking meme parabolas. Like, and Charlie, you cannot just draw, you know, a quarter of a circle and expect that to be, you know, an actionable trade setup. What the fuck are you doing? You might as well be an astrologer. Do you know what I mean? You might as well do your 3 drive patterns and your time cycles or whatever bullshit you want to pick out of this, right? But I actually think it's quite reflective of market psychology, which is, oh, it's going up, great. Oh, it's going up a bit more, right, well, we'll start buying it. It's actually uptrending, right, well, I'm going to do this. Oh my god, this is going to be the next fucking big thing. This is the next Bitcoin. Whoosh. Get fucked. You know, Wall Street cheat sheet. You know, anatomy of a market cycle, all that kind of wonderful stuff. But you see it time and time again. Time and time again. How do you set up spaghetti? There you go, my man. There you go. There's already linked the video. Am I dissing the moon phase chart? Not at all, mate. If you can make money out of it, don't give a shit. You know, you do you, my friends. So guys, let's well, firstly, thank you all for joining. I've had quite a few more people in here than usual. It's my absolute pleasure to host you all. If you enjoyed the stream and you want a little bit more, then hit follow, and I'll be that cringe influencer that says hit follow. I won't say sub because Magus has been very kind and he's gifted 10 wonderful subs. Yes, that's it, Nord. Get them with the emojis. Get them. I'm going to upload some more. They are so good. The blepees are so good. I'm always hilarious. Thank you, man. I try to be that duality of trader and comedian. Has he gifted you a sub? No, mate. I think you get an icon by your name. I'm not sure I can gift a sub to my own channel. I'm not sure that's kosher. Yeah, cheers, Tom. Yeah, honestly, if you enjoyed it, guys, I do this every week. It's usually on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I might up that a little bit at these times. And I talk a lot about altcoins. I talk a lot about narratives and sort of high beta plays. And yeah, I appreciate everyone here and everyone showing me love on Twitter. You know, I do notice the people who like things consistently and who appreciate the memes. I am genuinely here to spread a bit of love and joy. And, you know, I kind of believe that if you put good stuff out into the world, it comes back. And if you put bad stuff out, you know, it'll bite you on the ass. So all those people who are currently begging for money and asking for money for pre-sales and all that kind of wonderful stuff, I think karma is right around the corner. But anyway, we continue to spread some good vibes. We've been over lots of different trade setups, we've been over lots of different thought processes today, we've been over lots of different ways to approach the market in terms of both longing alts, holding them, investing for the long term, high time frame Bitcoin thoughts. Didn't really talk about ETH much, but we did cover ETH BTC. I basically gave you a shed ton of alpha on spaghetti and narrative trading, and if you haven't got those points, then go back and look over them, because I think that's probably the sauciest stream I've done in a while. And yeah, hit the follow button, hear the wonderful voice of Michael Saylor say there is no second best, and I will see you soon. But stay for the outro, because it will be worth it, I promise. If you are new to the stream, you will appreciate this. Au revoir. and see you soon.
He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.